What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and it is official. The Senate has taken up the first portion of the infrastructure package, that American Jobs Plan, the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, and they have voted on it on the process of beginning this first portion of the bill. And the results are in. This is your breaking news update. Just happened about 30 minutes ago from the time of this recording, and your stimulus check update and your stimulus package update. Now, as we have the results, we're now beginning to see articles come out like this. Take a look. Just came out about 30 minutes ago. Republicans block vote on bipartisan infrastructure bill, pushing for more time to write it. And that is what happened, you guys. Just like we heard this morning that they said they were going to unify together to block this bill, that is exactly what they did. And we're going to see a lot of pictures of Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who pretty much led the charge on blocking this first portion of the infrastructure package. And it says right here, another one that just came out 29 minutes ago, infrastructure bill fails first vote, Senate to try again. Here's another one came out 3 minutes ago. Senate Republicans block start of U.S. infrastructure debate. And here's one that we're going to be diving into more detail on in this video, getting you caught up on all the details from the Hill. It says GOP blocks infrastructure debate as negotiators near deal. So you guys, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as to what's happening with this infrastructure package, the first portion and the second portion that could have more stimulus provisions, more money for people. So I'm going to get you caught up as to what's unfolded as of today, just 30 minutes ago, July 21st, 2021. But before we dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second, I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton, and that is just go ahead and smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And also leave your comments down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on all of this. And if you think it's going to help out other people, be sure to share it out on social media platforms. Those gestures just take a second, really help out the channel a lot. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time here, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and you can come join the viewing community. Come and join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff so you know what's happening right away. And if you got any specific questions that you want me to answer, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up as to what's unfolding right now in Congress, this breaking news regarding the infrastructure package and what we might see coming up here with more stimulus. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do, as always, link in the description below so that way you can follow along with me. And I always cite my sources so you know they're coming directly from this news article and I'm not just making up random stuff. So this article says GOP blocks infrastructure debate as negotiators near deal. And the article says Republicans on Wednesday, today, just 30 minutes ago, blocked the Senate from debating a bipartisan infrastructure proposal as negotiators say they are near finalizing their agreement. And that was the big argument from the GOP, was that it wasn't finalized. They didn't have an actual tangible bill to read, and they weren't going to pass something that they hadn't even seen yet. Now it says the 49-51 vote fell short of the 60 needed to advance what is effectively a stand-in legislation senators will swap the bipartisan group's text into once it is finished. So pretty much right down party lines, they rejected it, and they said, we're not going to let you swap in text later. We want to have the text right now first. And it says, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he changed his vote late in a procedural move that allows him to bring it back for a second vote quickly. Now, Wednesday's vote comes as the bipartisan group has been meeting around the clock, including late into Tuesday night and again Wednesday, to lock down their deal after announcing at the White House late last month with President Joe Biden that they had agreed to a $1.2 trillion 8-year framework. But Democrats are feeling fierce pressure to start advancing President Biden's sweeping spending bill, which they are pursuing on two tracks: the bipartisan talks and a separate $3.5 trillion plan that they will be passing along party lines under reconciliation that would allow them to avoid a GOP filibuster on the second piece. And we've mentioned this before. The first portion is going to be for traditional infrastructure, roads, bridges, highways. That's the $1.2 trillion bipartisan agreement that they have. That's the American Jobs Plan. Now, the second portion, that 3.5 they mentioned, that's the American Families Plan, and is essentially another stimulus package. It equals money for people. And that is the one they're going to have to pass through reconciliation because there is no GOP support for that. So Democrats, they're going to have to unify to pass that. Now, reading on, it says, Schumer, speaking Wednesday ahead of the vote, pleaded with Republicans to let them start debate on the bipartisan track, arguing that he and Democrats didn't view it as a hard deadline for the bipartisan talks. He said, "This vote is only the first step in a legislative process on the Senate floor. It is merely a vote about whether the Senate is ready to begin debating a bipartisan infrastructure bill. I have also been very clear about what this vote is not. This vote is not a deadline to have every final detail worked out. It is not an attempt to jam anyone," Schumer said. But that message, telegraphed this week during the floor speech and press conference, was not enough to assuage the fears of the Republicans, who made it clear that they would not give Democrats the 10 votes that they needed to defeat the filibuster and advance forward a debate on Wednesday. "I think it's a meaningless exercise," said Susan Collins, a member of the bipartisan group, telling reporters shortly before Wednesday's vote. Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell said Schumer was intent on calling a vote that he knows will fail. "These discussions have yet to conclude. There's no outcome yet. So obviously, if the Democratic leader tries to force cloture vote on a bill that does not exist, it will fail," McConnell said. And we saw his picture a lot because he was the main one leading this charge to make sure that this got blocked. Now, the bipartisan group has been holding nearly daily meetings to try to finalize an agreement amid a rolling struggle over how to pay for the deal. And that is by far the main issue that they've had. How are we going to be paying for this? Because as you recall, all the other previous stimulus packages have just added and added and added to the debt. They're saying they don't want to add any more debt. So they're trying to figure out, how can we add this stimulus package or this infrastructure bill and figure out a way to pay for it? Now it says, while the agreement costs $1.2 trillion over the next 8 years, it only includes about $579 billion in new spending. Now the group had initially set an end of the week deadline last week to finalize its remaining issues, and Schumer announced Thursday that he was going to force a vote Wednesday to try to start a formal debate after weeks of waiting for the bipartisan group to finalize its agreement. So we're hearing from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and the Democrats that they were just trying to apply pressure to get this done because it's been taking quite some time. But on the other end, we have the Republicans saying, no, we're not going to have a vote on something that's not ready. We need to finalize a bill. We're not going to say yes to something that we don't even know what it is yet. Now, reading on, it says, but the group's deadline slipped with senators leaving town last Thursday without a deal finished. Schumer's deadline also sparked fierce GOP fury, with negotiators and members of the leadership accusing Schumer of undercutting the talks. Though the votes failed Wednesday, Republican negotiators say that they will be ready to start debate early next week, assuming the group can finish out its final hurdles. And that is the new time frame we're hearing, is that they're going to try to wrap this up this week, and hopefully early next week they'll have something tangible to read, to vote on, and that will take place early next week. Now, today, we're not going to be able to support this moving forward. We will be able to on Monday, though, said Senator Rob Portman, who has led talks for Republicans, and he told CNBC's Squawk Box. Now, Senator Mitt Romney, another member of the negotiating group, he said that 10 to 12 Republicans would be ready to start debate by early next week. And that's what we're hearing. We're hearing that the new time frame is going to be, they're going to have something ready by the end of the week, hopefully a bill to look over by early next week for voting to take place next week. Now, almost everything is resolved. We will have another vote, I hope, next week, and we'll be able to proceed to the bill. We have enough Republicans, 10 or 12 or more Republicans, that are supportive of going on the bill, Romney said. Now, a group of 11 senators, including Romney and Portman, sent Schumer a letter reiterating that they could be ready next week. Now, the larger bipartisan group of 22 is expected to also release a statement later Wednesday that, according to Portman, the lead GOP negotiator will say that the group is, quote, working hard and feeling optimistic. But the group is still trying to work out final sticking points, including a disagreement on rail transit. Wednesday is also the deadline that Schumer set for Democrats to be ready to move forward on a budget resolution that sets up the Democrat-only $3.5 trillion bill. And Schumer is facing calls from the House progressives to move to budget resolution because of Wednesday's failed vote. Democrats will need all 50 to advance the budget resolution in the Senate. So you guys, what we're hearing is that this bipartisan bill that failed to pass today in the Senate, well, now representatives from the House are saying, you know what, move on without the GOP. Let's get this done. take that first portion for infrastructure, physical infrastructure, throw it into the reconciliation bill. Let's make that $3.5 trillion now $6 trillion. We've heard from Senator Bernie Sanders, and let's have physical and human infrastructure, aka stimulus, all rolled into the largest stimulus package we have ever seen and pass it with a majority vote through reconciliation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We will see what unfolds here if they decide to go that route, or if they're going to give them a little bit more time to work on that first portion of that bipartisan bill and pass it through the regular means. We will see. I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel, but it's very likely we're going to hear a lot more information rolling out on this over the course of the next couple days. Well, you guys, that is the breaking news that just came out from Congress regarding the results of the vote for the infrastructure bill and stimulus. And as always, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, smash the like button if you made it this far and you haven't already. And also, if you're not already a part of the viewing community, come and join the Ram fam. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And also, if you missed today's earlier video, I'll be sure to keep you up to date on all the topics as we just received word of a new wave that's going to be hitting for that unemployment tax refund. Be sure to check that video out after this one so that way you can get caught up on the latest on that. And also, you guys, if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, hope this reaches you well. I'll be sure to catch you in the next video. Remember, uploads 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, guaranteed videos, and other videos sporadically throughout the day as news breaks. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.